Adult approved by SeasonTip.
Yeah. It's a big game. Who you know that got it behind the scenes like behind the O-line soon as the QB say hype? It's big game, big game. Analysis from the player's point of view. Injuries, big trades, playing.
What's going on, everybody out there in the world? You're now watching a new episode of Big Game Sports Buzz. I am Jay Sox, the Buff Nerd, and of course, the reason why we're here, why this show is called what it is called, the man, the myth, the legend, Big Game. James, what up, Big Game?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great now. You know what I'm saying? It gets difficult because, bro, we have so much to talk about. And it's just like, we got to get time to do it. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what it's all about. That's right. BGSB. Make sure you hit the merch. Okay. We got merch out there. You can get your hats. You can get your shirts. And make sure you subscribe, smash the bell, love the podcast, because we're always looking for people to come on the show and just comment. Make sure that you do comment. We love to read those comments, see what you're out there talking about. And this is where the sports fanatic and the pro athlete, that guy, get to talk about sports and everything else around it. So, yeah, man, excited. It's when NFL is on, it just feels like the world is right. You know what I'm saying? It feels like the world is right. And so I'm excited about it. So let's just jump into this thing, okay? 4 downs. We're going to talk about KD. Is he okay with the team? College. Is college football fun again? Right? Question mark. We're going to talk about USC possibly not playing in Coliseum anymore. And we definitely are going to get down into Tua and the NFL. So let's go ahead and hit that 4 downs.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's like preseason, but it's not.
Hey, forgive me, dog. I'm
it's all good. We got to get back into the, to the ride. So, first down, KD comes out. Kevin Durant, for those who may not know, but KD comes out, says, "You know what? I'm good with the team. Let's move on. There's nothing to see here. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, we're good." He says this at media day. Of course, we all know over the summer he demanded a trade.
That part.
And said he was not coming back unless the GM and the coach were fired. Now everything's good. Hey,
Jay.
Yeah.
What a difference an offseason makes, huh?
Man.
I really don't.
I mean, I think it was the fact that, well, let's start with this. You're a player. You're in the locker room. Let's say you're Ben Simmons. And you're hearing this coming from your star player, your leader, right? Saying he wants to get out, the GM and the coach need to be fired. Well, what are you thinking here? I came here because you said this is where I need to be. I liked what you were saying, you and Kyrie and everyone else. I'm here now. What are you thinking?
Man, dude, what's up with KD? Let's just start there. Because here it is. I demand a trade. This is ridiculous. Right. This is not going to work. Kyrie also demanded a trade, right? And next thing you know, it's like, and the Nets like, okay, we'll trade you. And they ask for like astronomical. They're like, all right, we'll give you Kevin Durant for your daughter's birthrights, your son's birthrights, Jesus coming back and saving my whole family. I mean, just stupid stuff, right? We knew it was.
Yeah.
So when we saw that, we're like, oh, this isn't going to happen. He's not going anywhere. The price is too high. So to go from demanding out, wanting out, acting like you're going to hold out and not come back to, oh, man, everything's good. I can't wait for the season starts. I'm in the place I need to be. This is the team for me. Come on, bro. You can't have it both ways. Now, at the same time, was he just pissed off and mad when everything happened and wanted, he had to vent a little bit? He did. But at the same time, don't be talking like you King Kong and then yet, you run around like a regular zoo gorilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, you beat your chest like you King Kong.
Right.
But you weren't really ready to take the steps and make the sacrifices to get what you wanted. You were just barking. You were all barking, no bite at all, is what it comes down to. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. No, I agree as a fan. I'm confused and I'm upset. I'm pissed off. And I'm like, you know what, KD? I could care less. I really could care less at this point. Brooklyn is a mess. You have, you have star players, and on paper, they should be a phenomenal team. And, now you have a coach that's saying, oh, we're just going to play Ben Simmons as a center. Right? He doesn't have to worry about shooting threes. Just get him close to the basket. That's where he's going to be. And I'm like, okay, but then you sign. Well, no, you sign, you give away. Well, Blake Griffin is signed with the Celtics, but that's a whole nother thing. But you have Ben Simmons as a center. And it's just very odd to me. This whole organization is very odd. How it's being ran, who's running it. Like, I don't know who's running it. I feel like it's KD of sorts and Kyrie. Like, KD and Kyrie are basically running this team. And so, it's very strange, and I'm interested to see the drama. But as a fan, if I was a Brooklyn Nets fan, I would just say, look, don't talk to me about basketball. Talk to me about something else, baseball
Jay,
or.
Okay. So Ben Simmons, we know he. I want to say this the right way because I don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
Well, I don't care if I offend anybody.
Okay, there we go.
I don't want to sound insensitive to certain things that go on in people's lives. That's the better word.
Gotcha.
A better way for me to put this. So you go from saying he's mentally drained, has mental issues going on, to now, okay, he can come back and he play, but you just gonna throw him in center so you ain't got to fix the real problems that he has. So, this guy when he came out of LSU was supposed to be the second coming of LeBron, right? Yeah. So he's going to be that next figure of the NBA, the 6'8", 6'10", point forward, point center, can do whatever. And here it is, he can't hit a free throw. So now to mask it, instead of really working on the problem, well, we'll throw him in center. He doesn't have to hit the three. He's still going to get hacked. Is he going to still choke in the stretch part of games where they need him to make those shots? Like, what are the Nets doing to make sure they're bettering themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. At this point, I just don't see it, and Philly will see how that all works out. But that situation again with Nash not having any coaching experience at all and being a head coach, to me, that's a signal that the NBA has an issue, which we continue to see. With Sarver, we're continuing to see this issue and pattern where you have great coaches who have sat on the bench, have held the clipboard, who are not getting opportunities to be head coaches in this league, and they deserve it.
Yeah, they get more than other leagues that we talk about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, I feel where you're coming from on that, man. It's
like that. I didn't get that higher. I didn't get that higher at all.
Well, you know what that is, Jay. That's the homie hookup.
Well,
somebody hooked up the homie with a job.
True, but I mean, if you if you look at that situation, there's again just no real reason that you can see a person like that. Again, when you have great coaches out there that have coached, have been on the bench, have been biding their time, putting in the work. Just saying. Just saying.
I'm right there with you on
So
that
yeah,
one.
we'll keep watching it, because it's good drama. But we're gonna move on to second down. And in second down, Game and I were actually just talking about this before we even came on. And I'm getting texts and I'm texting people back and forth, and we're hitting each other up on Messenger and like, hey man, college football seems to be fun to watch again. And it's not just Alabama and Georgia or the SEC. Now it's all kinds of people watching, right? You're watching all these teams like Texas. And hey, guess what? There's actually a Pac, was it Pac-10, Pac-12, still Pac-12?
Pac-12, man.
I don't know. So many of them have left.
They haven't left yet. That's just like, come on, man. That's like these Southern bumpkins got the Big 12 with 10 teams in it, and they about to be damn near the Big 8 when Texas them leave.
Nah, they got some more squads coming in. Houston is coming in, and Tulane or somebody. I don't know. Tulsa.
Houston's been on the bad end of some ass whoopings the last couple of weeks too.
They have. Yeah, Tulane was giving them the business last night. I watched part of that game. I love the jerseys. Hate the play.
Tulane won that game in overtime.
Yes.
Go Cougs. Go Cougs. Or is that a bear? Oh,
yeah.
Shit. Whatever.
That's
all these.
Right there.
Hey, why is it okay for colleges to throw up gang signs, but we frown on gang members for doing
that? Because of their activity.
Moving on.
Just saying. But no, the game. Now, obviously, you're a football guy, college guy, right? But can we say at least that, there was a time when it wasn't fun to watch college football because you kind of knew the outcome that was going to happen anyway.
I don't know if I ever felt like it was unfun to watch. I think there was like one or two schools that always gave like the little underdog the chance or hope, like Cincinnati last year, right? I think there's always one non-power 5 that you can lock into and watch. But it does give you some variety, I think, in college football. Like right now, the first game, not the first game, when Texas took Alabama to the wire.
Yeah.
And then it makes you think, oh wow, Alabama may be beatable this year. Clemson struggling last week, but to come back and win in overtime against Wake Forest. Oklahoma being dismantled this week by TCU. I think it's those supposed to be powered programs, even with new coaches in place. Oh, they're still going to be good. They're still going to be great. And the little guys still, what they do? The Kansas Jayhawks are 4-0. They said this is like the stadium sold out today for this game this afternoon. It's like the first time in like, I forget how many years that the stadium sold out in Kansas because they're starting the season off 4-0.
Yeah. I think since my father-in-law played at KU back in 1958 was like the last time maybe KU was good.
They had okay programs in the 90s, and then when the one real fat dude was coaching them. No offense to big people, I'm a fat boy myself, so when I say the real big fat dude, y'all know if the coach, I was like 600 pounds, and he took up like 2 seats on an airplane.
That's big, man. How can you be a coach like that?
I don't know, but he looked like he ate half his team. I'm sorry. I can't even remember his name right now. Oh my God. He was big, bro. He was big.
He ate half his team. But anyway, I think also it's fun again because you also see or know that there's a 12 playoff coming up, 12-team playoff coming up now.
In the future, yeah. In
the future. And we're talking like 2 or 3 years, and they're pushing for like next year, right, for it to happen. I think the NIL has definitely pushed it that way. I think people were like, look, there's no but you know what? I think it was also conferences in saying, okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you're only going to take 4, then these teams are going to start moving around. is getting into the conferences that they have like basically automatic bids.
Right.
SEC seems to have SEC always has an automatic bid. ACC has an automatic bid. Big Ten has an automatic bid, and it's like, all right, let's just see who else is out there. Pac-12,
I mean, UCLA looked good last night for the Pac-12.
UCLA did.
I was really surprised when they whooped up on Washington. I mean, Washington came back to make it a little bit of a better game late, but Chip Kelly seems to be working a little bit of that magic again that he used to have at Oregon.
Well, Chip Kelly is he's a college guy, and I think there's a distinction that has to be made where not only are you a pro coach or a college coach, but also if you're good in certain areas, like you can recruit certain areas, like he can recruit the South and he can recruit the West. He can't recruit the Northeast. He can't recruit the East Coast.
Hey, man, but who's running to – I'm not going to say that. I'm going to call it right. I think nobody running to the Northeast to go grab talent like they do Texas, Florida, Georgia, California.
You're correct. You're correct.
I mean, they have some guys. Now, there's guys that can play from up that way. I know that. There's people in every state. But you know where our pool of athletes come from. We ain't gonna lie about
if
that.
you're looking for linemen, you know where to go. Midwest and the Northeast. That's just what it is. That's where they come from. Okay. Now, if you want some dogs, some beat ups, as I call them, I call them beat up guys. They're gonna come in and beat everybody up, especially on your defense. Texas, Florida. That's usually your guys there. In Cali, you're going to have some receivers. You're going to have the QBs. You're going to have those that usually come out of there. And running backs usually come from, like I said, Texas, Florida. You have some from Cali. But, yeah, different regions of the area or different regions of the states. That's where you go. But Chip Kelly, West Coast and the South, he knows how to recruit there. So,
Jay, do you consider Texas South? I had to ask you this.
I do.
You being a Texas guy and all.
I do. And some people don't. They consider it Midwest, which I will never call it, or Southwest. I hear Southwest.
Yeah, it's not Midwest either. I've been to the Midwest. I lived in the Midwest before. But it's not, being born in Georgia, it's not a real true South to me, man.
And that's okay. So we're getting into a whole nother thing.
I just want to ask. I know that this is going to college
but
landscape.
It's a good yes. Texas is the South. It is the South. Okay. If you have to put a distinction of Southwest or where the West begins, sure. Okay, fine, whatever. But as far as some people say that.
Shit, cool, whatever.
Whatever, but at the end of the day, we are the South. We're the South. That's what we are.
Hey, shout out to all my local rednecks. What's up, yes, hey, it is very southernish. I will give you that.
It's southern.
I got
you, we're South. It's okay to be southern now.
I just had that. Oh man, nothing wrong with being southern at all.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
I moved to California. They called me a big country pumpkin when I got out there.
Well, now if you go up to Chicago, let me tell you something. Chicago is country.
Really?
People don't realize it. Chicago is country.
Okay.
It is country.
Hey, when I go to Chicago, I try to go get my Geno's pizza and get the hell on.
For sure.
I just need my deep dish and I'm dipping out.
Which was invented by a Texan. I would like that to be added in there and noted.
The Buff Nerd fun fact. Oh my God. Really?
There you go.
What we doing?
Bing. Yes.
Hey, man, let's get the third down. Let's get the third down, bro.
Third down, man. So keeping with the theme of college football, and of course, we talked about UCLA, but USC has been considering actually moving their home games from the Coliseum, right, into another stadium, actually building one on campus. So LA Coliseum, if you're not aware of, is very historic. There's been a lot of great events and moments that have happened there, but it is a huge stadium. And so whenever they pan, right, if you're awake to watch USC play, but when they pan, there's like a lot of empty seats because if it's like 100,000 or 120,000, like it's a huge stadium. It's a huge stadium. And so they're actually considering, getting maybe like um a 30,000 at most, 30 to 40,000 seat stadium on campus. And I think this is actually a good
it
idea.
has to be more. No, it doesn't. It just has to be at least more than $20,000 20,000 fan capacity to
Yeah.
count D1 game.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that, honestly. But I
Yeah.
mean, the Coliseum is very close. It's damn near on campus to USC in
Mhm.
proximity for where it's at. I don't know if you've ever been out to that area yet or not, Jay.
Yeah.
But it is big because think about it. They have the end zones. They have giant retired jerseys in the end zones and tarps
Yeah.
covering up a big, big portion of the stadium. And yet,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of students that go to those games. So it's not
Sure.
like they don't get a good crowd, unlike the Rams. I mean, the Chargers last week at home against Jacksonville. You could have gotten to that game for $1 and sat anywhere you wanted to sit. That's another story. So I'm not opposed to the idea of USC. Now, the Coliseum has so much tradition. That's the one I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind asking my wife and my father-in-law about how they would feel about the Coliseum being no more and building something on campus that's a little bit smaller that would make it feel like a better college football atmosphere.
Absolutely. And hit us up in the chat. Like I said, we'd love to hear what you have to say about that because I remember watching TCU games in the old stadium that they had, and they had steel seats and things of that nature. And so,
Y'all was in the butthurting bleachers?
Man, I'm telling you, but we would watch LaDainian Thompson. We were there to watch the game, and it was tradition. And so, they built a bigger, better stadium, but you still kind of miss some of that parts. Even the Cotton Bowl, where you have the Texas OU game, that's going to be abandoned to go to AT&T Stadium. So, we talk about tradition in the Red River rivalry, but now you move that game to AT&T. Yes, it's more comfortable. Yes, that you can fit more fans and you can do all this and that, but I get the tradition.
Yeah, I like it.
But at the same time, though, it is something to walk on campus to go to a game.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. Mackey Stadium is right on campus in Reno, Nevada. And up the hill, you see where our campus starts, and you go a little further up, and that stadium is right there at the top of Virginia Street. And, we're just trying to get some electricity back in that damn stadium compared to, what it is right now. We having a rough turnaround, but, Coach Wilson going to get us going. But I understand. The thing is, Jay, tradition is great. But at the same time, once you change and create a new tradition, create a new culture, it'll still become tradition again. Like the old heads sometimes don't want to see things change.
Sure.
And they want it to last, right? And the Coliseum, think about it, was built back was it the 1980 something Olympics is why they did Coliseum back in LA at the time, and what's become of that and what they've done there. That's awesome. But damn, it's big for no damn reason.
It's huge. It's huge. Like you can fit all of America in that thing. But like I said, man, it is traditions are great, but I do believe there are time for new traditions to be made. And so I'm not a USC alum, I'm not a USC fan, but I would say, hey, why doesn't this make the Coliseum one of those national championship sites, right? SoFi is a national championship site this year.
Yeah, but it's modern. It's modern. Dude, no one wants to go to the Coliseum where, think about it, you got people at games, they watch 10% of the game, another 90% of the time, they're texting, they're TikToking, they're social mediaing it up, right? They need their Wi-Fi and their modern amenities to do that. The Coliseum doesn't have that. So they don't want that.
Well, and so here's an opportunity to, while you're not on or in the stadium during the season, you can retrofit, you can upgrade to do that. And so you have events, you have more events that can be there. The granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, right? And all of that. So I mean, there's some things I think that can be done, but yeah, the tradition of it, I'd rather, if I'm a student, I'd rather just, and I get what you're saying, it's not that far, but if I can just roll up to the stadium on campus and alums can roll on campus, and that's one thing that you love to do as an alum, to go back and say, oh, I stayed there, or I ate there, or I did this there. You start reliving some of those days on campus, right? As you go to the stadium. I'm not an OU fan by any stretch of I don't like OU. But when you go to the OU stadium and you're walking on campus, it is really cool. It's actually pretty cool to do that because it's right there. It's right there on campus. So it's pretty neat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I give you
All
that,
right,
man.
Okay. Going into fourth down. This past week, one of the NFL's up and coming rising stars, right? And I think we can both agree that's what he is. Tua Tagovailoa went down hard, was slung down actually, and suffered another concussion. And as they said, this was a worse concussion than the one he suffered in the previous week, in which he got hit. Actually, he was pushed, head hit the ground. He got up woozy, started jogging a little bit, fell back down again, and then came back and played in that game. And so the NFL came under fire. Well, everything checked out according to his coach and the team and the NFL. He played again this past week and was slung down and was stretched, and they had to bring a stretcher to come get this kid. NFL has been under fire for concussions for a while now. Did they? Well, I think we can. Well, we'll ask the question: did they drop the ball? How could this have been prevented, or could it have been?
Jay, I had a deep discussion with some of my colleagues this week on this, and some different people I know that have played the game. Mm-hmm. And first and foremost, man, the league, it's two different sides of it. We know this. They can say what they want to say. It's one of those things where I've seen guys in the past, once injured, get convinced to go back on the field. And as soon as they have tape showing you play, even though you're not 100%, they can cut you. That gives them, well, he got on the field, and if he wasn't healthy, he shouldn't have played. So they'll do stuff to get you on tape to play you, right? Tua's not really that guy in that situation, but it still turns out to be, why was he back on the field? I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not pretending to be one. But to see him fall down the way he did, and no mistakes about it, he hit his head on the ground against the Bills that day, okay? It happened. To me, that hit looked harder than the hit that happened Thursday night against the Bengals when he was slung down into the ground. Now, that's just my perception of what I see. That's my take on it, right?
Gotcha.
So the NFL has put an independent company, medical staff, concussion protocol staff, I guess you could say, at every game. There's an independent doctor that's supposed to give you non-biased opinion. And so some friends and I had a conversation is, well, if you're a doctor, do you run the risk of lying to get him back on the field where you're getting paid anyway from the NFL? You have no dog in this fight. You're really there to be non-biased and to give your full medical opinion. And if not, you could probably be sued, lose your license, and not be able to practice medicine anymore, right? So does an independent doctor really run that risk? In my mind, I want to say, no, they're not going to run that risk. But at the same time, the plain odd player in me said there was something more than a back wrong with Tua. And now you can also see Tua's face go, damn it, I'm okay. Put me back in. Yeah. At one point in time, does someone step in to save a player from themselves when they don't know what they're going to do is going to probably hurt? Because to me, that second concussion, I'm saying,
Yep.
excuse me, the concussion Thursday
Mm-hmm.
looks like a side effect, or what we call them aftershocks when we talk about earthquakes in California, right?
Right.
Looks a little bit
Right.
like the aftershock of what happened the prior week against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And something more has got to be done, because right now, as we talk about it, the damage that he could have later on in his career, or in his life, that's the part that's scary to me as a person of having mood swings and being mad and being grumpy and getting up sometimes and not knowing why. I feel like I hate everything sometimes, right? Because I know it's an effect of all the impact that my head has had over the years of me playing football from the age of 8 to the age of 33 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's had some kind of effect on me. At that position, there's something more there to it. I don't know. I feel like the medical staff wouldn't risk their licensing and being sued. But at the same time, I feel like the Dolphins organization and coaches and even Tua himself, they all failed this young man in the sense of protecting him from significant head damage.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. There's I've watched the pundits and the shows and everything like that, and former players talking about it, and of course with you and other persons and other players, and just the simple fact of saying, hey, at what cost, again, do you allow him to play, especially on a short week?
Right.
Like there was a time and when we talk about short week, he played Sunday and then he turned around and played Thursday, right? So that's literally, if you want to get, it's 4 days
Right.
between the time he was concussed originally, and he was concussed, to the very next game. Is 4 days, which usually, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to be at least 5 days.
You're supposed to have 5 days of protocol, and within that, you're supposed to have a full padded practice also. So to do it in 4, and we've already talked about just take concussions out of it, Jay. We've talked about on this show and other shows before the injuries that these players will suffer and the lack of recovery time because of the NFL broadening their scheduling for TV.
Right.
And we all know TV is where the money comes from for the NFL, right?
Yep.
I already said that was a disservice, because you used to go from having 1 or 2 Thursday night games to now it's the norm. And for you to schedule, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it from a player standpoint. From a fan standpoint, it's great. Shit, football is on all the time. Whoa, boy, you see the game? Boys, I can't wait till Thursday. We got another game coming on. In the locker room, like, shit, my ribs cracked. They ain't gonna heal. I can't sit out, because if I don't play, they might waive me and bring somebody else to do this.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm gonna tough it out. And man, it happens all the time to where some guys are scared to go tell people what's wrong with them. Like, they don't even want to say, yeah, this is what's wrong with me. I'm hurt and I need to heal, because they're so afraid of losing their job.
Right.
And it should never come down to that. I shouldn't be worried about, damn, dog, my knee hurt. I'm going to be okay. I'll be all right. You go out there and make it worse, tear ligaments, then your career is cut short. And you only because you're looking over your shoulder thinking, well, shit, if I don't play, they're going to cut me anyway. It shouldn't be like that. The league, you shouldn't have to operate like that.
Okay, so I'm going to interject a cowboy question here. But do you think this is why we're hearing about Dak wanting to come back and saying, I'm good after surgery of 2 or 3 weeks? And again, not a doctor, neither one of us are a doctor. But if you go from, this is an 8-week injury, to, okay, you know what, maybe it's 4 to 6, to, hey, you know what, he may be available in 3 weeks, right? From that injury, because now you have a backup that is, you're winning with the backup. Not saying he's doing great, but to your point of, if someone comes in, steps in, and they do a good job, if Teddy Bridgewater is the guy and he's showing that, hey, you know what, Tua can take all the time he needs, right? Do we now start seeing, as a fan, I'm saying, well, you know what, just keep Tua on the bench. Keep Bridgewater out there.
Right. But this is my thing. To your Cowboys point, Dak is now we're all human, man. When it comes to hearing things,
Sure.
Dak is hearing the rumblings of, oh my God, Cooper Rush might be that guy. He might be able to replace Dak if they need him to, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you already right now. Part of Dak Prescott was wanting to rush back to silence that. Your owner coming out talking about he hopes there's a quarterback controversy. You're a jackass. Shut up. Because now you're going to force this young man to do something that's stupid. Somebody needs to talk to Dak, make him realize that he doesn't need to do anything to try to speed up what he's doing.
Excuse me, yeah.
Because that hand comes out and he gets it, surgically repaired. But if they tell you 8 weeks, 1 week, but you're going to come back in 6 and think you're going to be okay, you hit that hand again, you injure it again, and now what? Another surgery? Another season, or if it never heals correctly or gets repaired correctly from surgery, it damages your career. Sit down somewhere, let it play out, dude. Let it play out.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? That's the kind of stuff that makes you really just say, "Oh hell no!
Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
That's right, folks. This is the segment that we love, right? Called Oh, Hell No, where we look at things that have been happening throughout the sports world. And it makes us say, oh, hell no. Usually Big Game will go first. So I will release the floor, the mic to you, sir, if you have a oh, hell no. I know I do. So, we can go with that.
I have one. And
there we go.
I thought about it, though, Jay, and realistically, this one I'm about to say, it's not going to surprise you when I tell you what it is. This person is the epitome of oh, hell no. He's he's a human oh, hell no. So just surfaced and popped up on my Twitter feed. Antonio Brown is in Dubai on vacation and decided to expose himself to guests at a fancy Dubai hotel. So Antonio Brown's in the water, and they have seen the video. He's playing with a guest, someone he knows, a female, blonde female. All of a sudden, his trunks are off. She's waving them in the air. Antonio Brown jumps up, flashes his ass to the people around him in the pool, and then later proceeds to stick up his man part where people can eyeball it and see what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with this dude's head. A lot of people say Vontaze Burfict hit him in the seat, and his brain had been right ever since we just got to talking about concussions. And we can see, if you don't think concussions can have a long-term effect on you, look at Antonio Brown and how he acts.
Antonio Brown.
So Antonio Brown, although I shouldn't be surprised that he did something this stupid, he did. And he gets my oh hell no for the week.
Wow. That's disturbing.
It's thank God for the little blurred out thing, because I want to. When they say in the clumps, oh Lord, I just ate. I don't nobody want to see that. Cover that up. I mean, come on, man. Really, this is what we doing?
That's disturbing. On so many levels, that's disturbing.
It's a whole. It's a story. It's a show within itself.
Man, that's. You have said a mouthful there, sir. Actually, mine is sovereign. No, none of that was intended. Trust. No, for me though, it's you know what, Richard? Yes, sir. That is dirty. Appreciate
dirty
you
girl. What up, man?
Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, that's nasty. Don't do it. It's in Dubai. Like, they don't do that there.
I mean, one of the most, I've never been. My mom just went to Dubai. She said it's probably the most beautiful place she's ever seen with her own eyes on this earth. And you see the skyscrapers, the buildings, and Jay, it's a rooftop pool. It looks like most beautiful scenery in the world. And you see this black ass gremlin jump out with butt cheeks showing, and then roll over and stick his man part out the water. Man, come on, dog. What are you doing? Go put a robe on. Something.
There's that. Mine quickly, the Sarver saga in Phoenix,
wow.
it's here's the most disturbing part to me is that he finally did the right thing in selling the franchises, both the Mercury and the Suns.
Okay.
But it was just the simple fact that he had to be convinced and didn't want to do it. In his statement, he said, he's trying to work on himself and he thought he would get the opportunity to do so for that year, but apparently there are people who just don't want him to grow. Come on, bro. Come on. You've had he's been in ownership for 18 years. No less than 5 times you've been caught doing this. People have told you, hey, don't say that. Don't do that. Yeah, it's time.
Jay, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
How does he plan on growing from what's going on? And what
I don't know.
Doing? Like, what is his real reasoning of why it?
I wish I could tell you when it comes to people with mind like that. No idea. So, yeah, there's all hell no for this week. Antonio Brown, man, get some help, bro. Get some help, man. People out here rooting for you, but get some help, man. You just get some help. And Sarver, peace.
Deuces.
Glad I didn't know you. Glad I didn't know you. What we got next, man?
I thought that between the lines.
Let's do it. That's right. In between the lines, like I said prior, it's so much. Life is so much better in the fall because you have pro sports. But not only that, you have pro football, you have college football, you have what's going on the baseball playoffs. The rankings are starting to see who's what right now. I was about to say A-Rod, man. Aaron Judge. He hit the 61st, looking to hit the 62nd to take that record on for the Yankees. And I hate the Yankees, so to that, I do.
Tell me how you feel, then, Jay.
I hate the Yankees, man.
What did the Yankees do to you, bro?
They win, and it's not that I hate winning. You know what it is? I was okay with Yankees until the whole A-Rod deal. And that's what set me off. And so that was it for me. I don't care for the Yankees.
Don't be a hater like you like to accuse me of.
You are a hater, but that's okay. I don't like the Yankees. There are a lot of people don't like the Yankees.
You're
that's
right.
Fine.
Hey,
that's fine.
Jay, it's a little off topic, but I got to tell you this because
what's up?
I really thought about this. Back in the day when your Cowboys were successful and were doing well,
okay,
I was actually a fan and cheered for them. Believe it or not, I know you don't believe that the way I talk about them now, but over time, you know what got me?
Thank you, sir.
Hey, NFL Edition, thanks for commenting. Don't agree with the buff nerd though.
That's okay.
He's gonna run with it. He thinks. I think Cowboys fans, when I moved here to the Dallas area, made me say, "Oh hell no." They get on my damn nerves.
Dude, they're some of the greatest fans.
You got some of the greatest fans. Some of the most delusional jackasses on earth as well. It's a good mix. It's a good mix of people.
I think that's more Raiders fans.
I'm not going to go there right now.
Here's what I'm
go ahead.
No, here's what I'm going to say about Raiders fans, okay? There's a Raiders fan I know right now who said the Raiders could be 3-0 with just a few plays. Like they said, the Raiders should be 3-0 right now. Yeah, you gotta hate the Yankees, bro. They put that stinking billboard up in Tampa.
Yeah, it's Yankee everywhere. Hey, there's a lot of New York influence in Tampa that you would hate to see sometime, man.
There you go.
And sometimes playing against the Giants, you would have damn near as many Giants fans than Raymond James as Buccaneers fans. It was disturbing.
It's because it's the weather is nice in Tampa. A lot of old people retire there.
Yeah,
So
hips operate better in the warm weather than they do the New York cold. You're right. Old ass.
that's a fact. That's like I know in Tampa and was it Raymond James Stadium or James? What was it? What's it called?
Raymond James.
James. Okay, it's two first names. Raymond James Stadium. Can't even get it out. Ray J. We'll call it Ray J. We'll call it Ray J Stadium.
No, we're not calling it Ray J. Because next thing you know, you're gonna be calling it the Kim Kardashian, home of Kim Kardashian or something. No.
Ray J. The Ray J Stadium.
The Ray J. Raycon Stadium. No. Raymond James Financial Group. Yes.
I got you. So anyway, I was just saying though, in the Ray J Stadium, I'm sure that they don't have a senior discount at all because they would lose money with the clientele.
I'm not appeasing you with comment on that shit. Come on, man.
It's funny.
So anyway, between the lines.
What's going on in the NFL?
What's bothering me right now? I'm just gonna tell you, Jay.
Yeah.
My team. 3 games, 2-1,
Mm-hmm.
only 3 offensive touchdowns, 678 yards of total offense. The injuries are offensive line prior to, but then Mike Evans being suspended, Julio being hurt. It's looking like we have a lack of receiver depth that can help us.
I am cool NFL edition. It's Ray J.
Call it
Ray J Stadium.
What is should I in your buff nerd analysis? Should I be worried about the lack of production of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense and how Tom Brady is looking right now?
Here's the thing with Tom in Tampa and that situation and what you compare it to in New England. You don't have Bill Belichick, number one. You have a front office person in Bruce Arians who doesn't really want to be in the front office, but would rather be on the sideline.
Mm.
And then you have Tom who, look, he's showing his age this season. Okay. And
is that what it is?
He's really showing his age. He misses Gronk. He doesn't have Gronk. His line is trash. Fournette looked good. He continues. I don't know what's going on with that.
200 plus rushing yards, but still not even a rushing touchdown from him. We need to run the ball a little bit more. I don't know, man. I'm worried. Everybody tells me, all my boys in Tampa tell me I shouldn't be worried. Shit, I'm worried right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the teams you're playing, and I'm like, okay, NFC South is not. They're not world beaters at all.
I got some breaking news. I got some news for you. Keep going though. You do it.
Yeah.
What's your point?
But I'm just saying that you're just going to see with Tampa. I would be worried as well that they were a number 1 offense last year, but now, they don't. I think maybe they're maybe 25th. Like they're just not there. And a bunch of injured wide receivers.
Hey, shout out to Johnny Dean for coming on and commenting. Johnny, you make a good point, man. I mean, you think about it. Godwin not being back right now hurts.
Yeah.
And me, honestly, he never should have tried to play against Dallas. They thought, we're going to bring him in limited plays.
Yeah.
They say he tweaked the hamstring. I wouldn't be surprised if he really retweaked the knee a little bit. He shouldn't have been out on the field against a team that we didn't need Godwin to beat the Dallas Cowboys week 1 because of the way the defense played. And Julio Jones did not play bad, but of course, 1 game out of Julio. Now he's back hurt again. Like, goddamn.
I don't want to say I told you so because
I'm
not
you
a
do
guy.
Want to say it,
but
you do.
I told you.
You're that guy.
Julio Jones is not the dude that he once was, and here I'm going to say it here. He never was. If you wanted Julio Jones to be the guy that was going to get you that, over 8 touchdowns a season, that's not him. He's never done that. So you're asking and expecting a lot of him. He can give you yards. Okay, great. But then once you get down there, we're seeing that Fournette cannot punch the ball in, or maybe it's the play calling. I don't know.
We haven't been in the red zone that close. Well, we got in the red zone 5 times against y'all and scored only 1 touchdown.
But that's the point, though. If you have, and Fournette was tearing us up. They were tearing up the Cowboys. But if you cannot punch it in, right, there's going to be a time where 19 points is not going to get it. You're going to come up against someone that's going to figure out your defense, and they're going to put it to you. They're going to put it to you.
And then
when they do,
12 last week.
If you can't score more than 21 points in this league, you have an issue. I wholeheartedly believe that. To me, that's
there's a lot of teams. Well, there's a lot of teams with issues there, but
there is.
I'm not arguing with your point, Jay. It's a pretty good one. Hey, there's a top headline on ESPN.com right now that the doctor who evaluated Tua has been fired.
What did you just say? What did you just say? I'm gonna put you back up there, Jimmy Dean. Johnny Dean. What did you just say though?
Who, me?
Yeah, earlier when we were talking about that in the 4th down.
I said I didn't think that a doctor would jeopardize his career over a misevaluation, but he's been fired. So obviously he missed something in the diagnosis when it came to it.
Well, okay, look, we can say he missed something in the misdiagnosis, blah, blah, blah. He effed up. He messed up. He messed up.
Hey, y'all, the buff nerd don't like the curse. So
not on here.
But
when you see me out in the streets, you might.
I'll say fucked on camera. Sorry,
I know you do. You're okay with that.
Jay Styles said the doctor fucked up. Oops. There it is. But we got a couple more we got to talk about in this NFL.
It was the second doctor. Yeah, that was 5 neurologists. I'm saying that there's a point where someone has to take blame. It won't be the coach. It won't be the NFL per se. So it's, hey, you're our scapegoat, people out here, your evaluation staff that we've hired and contracted. You should have taken his helmet. Why didn't you take his helmet?
Well, it's just as simple as telling him, hey, you're done. Or as a coach, putting the backup in. A player's not going to sub himself in, Jay. You ain't got to take a helmet. Make this, hey, man, get your ass out the okay. What'd your mama used to say back in the day when she, hey,
look,
get in this house.
Your mama and my mama were different than these coaches today. You take the helmet. That's what we were taught. As coaches and coaching, it was we taking your helmet. There's because you got all this stuff going on, and the player comes to the coach and says, hey, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And the coach says, okay, go. Good, go. Take his helmet. Take his helmet, lock it up. He won't play then. So and yeah, save him from himself. This whole
thing kills me, man. It shouldn't have happened like that.
It does.
Hey, but I mean, not to get back on the Tua situation. Brady, Bucks, we got to figure something out. We're struggling right now on offense. It's driving me crazy.
He's old, and your line is not helping. Your line is
okay. I understand that.
What do you say? The coaches, all right, Johnny, the coaches and the doctor. James, you know yourself, a player will say and do anything to stay on the field, especially someone into his position.
I've lied before.
It's been uncertain.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Johnny is 100% correct on that on that fact. And like I said, you can read Tua's lips. Tua's lips said, "I'm fucking okay." He said that.
Yeah.
His lips said, "I'm effing okay." Right? He wasn't. That was against Buffalo.
Yeah.
So now the game plan goes into the following week for Thursday night against the Bengals. Yet, where was the ball drop into the real evaluation to make sure you're going to evaluate this dude right or wrong,
right?
And be on the field. Bottom line was, Tua shouldn't have been on the field. He was.
No.
He shouldn't have been. Now, you know somebody else that's not going to be on the field this week. Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett.
Man.
Myles Garrett decided to drive his Porsche 65 in a 25, lost control, crashed, and is now ruled out Is this a big deal for the Browns this week?
It's a big deal. Is it a huge deal? No. They've got to figure out the offense. I think they have enough tools on defense that this won't affect them too much. I think you'll see some.
Okay, so you think because they got the Falcons this week, it doesn't bother them, doesn't hurt them?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think for this game especially, let them rest up, get better, get well. I'm more interested in seeing the offense do better. And I understand it's Brissett, but
see, I'm glad you said that. I'm like, you want the offense to do better, but you think Jacoby Brissett's that guy that's going to help them do better all of a sudden?
Here's what I say to that. Obviously, he is not, Deshaun Watson. Get that. But Jacoby Brissett is not, just some dude, right? He's not just some dude. He's not. He's not just some dude.
You rocking his career stats?
Hey, the medical staff had to speak up. Johnny Dean, just on our last point, if they're getting buried by the coaching staff, then speak out to the press. Remember Grimes and the appeals they handed out to avoid issues. Yeah. The only thing though is again, I think it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. Do you like what you do? Do you want to keep doing it? But the priority should be the players. Point blank, period. That's it. That should be it. But no, moving back to Brissett is a capable quarterback. He is a capable quarterback. Right? He knew what the situation was coming in. I think they have a good tight end in Njoku. I really like this kid. Yeah. I think as far as their receivers, they got Amari Cooper. So they got that. They have good running backs. The offensive line is serviceable, right? So, yeah, I agree, Johnny. He's playing better than ever. So there needs to be something that's happening in that offense to get them over that hump. And so when Deshaun gets back, and he will be super rusty, right? He'll be able to step in, and everyone is running and doing their thing. But yeah, Brissett's good enough, man. Brissett's good enough, especially in that division. He's good enough.
Yeah, Pittsburgh left a whole lot to be desired right now.
They have. And so, you're looking at AFC North, Mount Baltimore. That's really the talk right now is Baltimore. And
I'm sorry. I just read Johnny Dean's chat in the damn comment.
Yeah. We say Deshaun will be rusty. He has plenty of loot. Did he or did they? That's the question. Usually they have that. If they're professionals, they'll have loot.
Hey, stop talking. You want to expose yourself, brother.
Oh, man. Look, I am where I am, and I do what I do. So, again, there you go. I may not cuss, but dirty.
Hey, is it time to move on, dog? Because we stressed. Hey, there's a lot
all
of
that stuff is top. Oh, are we still doing that other thing that you like to do that I hate?
Why wouldn't we?
Oh,
I got one queued up just for basketball season.
All right, this is a big game segment. Would you rather? Is that what it's called? What it's called, man?
See,
pick one.
You're not gonna disrespect my segment just because you don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's one gotta go. Hey, that's right. So the internet always comes up with great things, and there's even a great game called One Gotta Go. So this week, with the NBA kicking off, I came up with one NBA shooter. What would happen if they never existed? So we got Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and Steve Kerr. One got to go. Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Steve Kerr.
Ray Allen. Who's the other one?
Ray Allen, really?
No. Give
Steph Curry.
No.
Reggie Miller.
Ray Allen, Steph Curry.
Ray Allen and Steve Kerr.
Okay, give it to me again.
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
What you got in your cup over there, man?
No, nothing. Just keep.
Okay.
Okay.
Steph, Reggie Miller, the alien, Ray Allen, Jesus Shuttlesworth, and Steve Kerr.
One's got to go.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr.
Okay, easy.
That's easy.
You made that hard. And hey, I say Steve. I agree with you, Steve Kerr. Yeah. His contribution to the Bulls was cool, but he was more of a role player. Those other three guys carry their teams.
Bro, let me tell you about Steve Kerr, okay? Steve Kerr was the last iteration of Paxson, who was the last iteration of Craig Hodges. So Steve Kerr, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What did we say, Big Game? What did we say?
I apologize.
I know.
You're right. Hey, introduce your next segment, so I can run this film real quick for you.
Some people have a top 100, some have a top 50, some have a top 25, some even punk out and just do a top 10. But here on Big Game Sports Buzz, no. Who's in, who's out, top 5. Let's go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Man, I need more time on that intro. I love it. Hey,
I'm gonna tweak it for you next week. Well,
man,
whenever we come on again, we don't know.
I love it. Hey, this week's top 5 list, top 5 college running backs of all time. Those that made their marks while they were matriculating through their great institutions, not after they became pro. So, this is what Big Game says to me just about every week. Say, dog, it's a shitty list, man. You see I curse. It's a shitty list. I said, why is it a shitty list? Because, man, it's tough. It's hard. I said, that's why it's a top 5, right? Your top 5 running backs, collegiate running backs of all time, it should be tough because you know what? It's who's in, who's out. That's why we love this segment. So, Game, do you even have your 5? I have mine. It was tough.
Yeah, I have. Come on, do I even have my 5? Yes, I have my 5.
Usually you have 20.
See, there you go, line again. I only give. It's a top 5. I usually have 7. I usually have 2 honorable mentions. I'm guilty. I'm sorry, bro.
That's the first time you've admitted it.
No, that's the first time you making me acknowledge it. I never lied to say that I paid more than 5, dude.
True, that's true.
You make life real hard on me, right? So top 5 college running back. And the reason I say this is a shitty list is I think it depends on age. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get somebody that's a little bit older than us,
right,
their list is probably gonna be a little bit older.
Right.
I grew up watching football with my grandfather, so some older running backs, I didn't even really see them, but my grandfather told me about them, so you knew how good they were, right?
Right.
So I'm going on your page. This is no order. I can't put these dudes in order.
Man,
I have them.
Tough, huh?
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I got 5, and I'm just going to blurt them out. No particular order, okay? So, Herschel Walker, Reggie Bush, LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk, and Barry Sanders.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I looked at those. There's quite a few on those that I looked at and said, but. Because I had to drop some off to put some on. And that's top 5. That's how it works. But I'm going to say that's a good list. That's a tough list. That's a good list. That's a good list. We both agree Barry Sanders should be on that top 5 list. I don't care who you are. Barry Sanders should be there. Bo Jackson is on my list Because it's Bo.
Can't be mad. It's Bo.
It's Bo. Eric Dickerson. Now,
Pony Express.
Eric Dickerson was a part of the Pony Express, and he ran with this other dude. But yeah, he was the man. He was the man. And of course, it translated to the pros. But again, we're talking strictly collegiate here. Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell, when he played for Texas.
How did I know you were going to go deep? I knew it. And I was like, I don't need to pick Earl. Jay's going to pick him. I said that. I did. I did the list. I was like, I don't need to pick Earl. Jay got it.
Earl Campbell, if you've never seen him play, go to YouTube, put in Earl Campbell. You're welcome. You're welcome. And finally, the GOAT himself, Jim Brown. I had to put Jimmy Brown there because, well, it's Jimmy Brown. Just one of those dudes. I mean, it's Jim Brown. I don't think I have to say anything else. I don't think I have to. You know what? O.J. Simpson was dope, man. He definitely was. LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, Riggins. Now that's interesting. That you would put Riggins there. Tony Dorsett out of Pitt, yes sir. He was cold, man. He was cold. Now Ricky Bell, you know what, Johnny, you're gonna have to show me about Ricky Bell because I don't think Ricky Bell is gonna be a top 5 guy. And I see you have 6 there. Don't think I can't count there, Johnny. Okay. Big Game has hit me today.
Hey, no one said Ricky Williams. No one said Ricky Williams in the top. Do you think he was a college running back, or was he even in your consideration?
Absolutely, he was. Absolutely was. But again, if I'm talking top 5, you know, who do you bump out for Ricky Williams? You know, do you bump out Earl Campbell? Do you bump out Eric Dickerson, Bo Jackson, Jim Brown? Like, who do you bump out? You know, so that's the tough part, man. But Ricky, yeah. God.
What happened? What I missed?
I forgot Ricky. Okay, yeah. There you go. Ricky Williams. And maybe that's what you meant, Ricky Bell.
And see, Johnny, that's what he does to me every week. We have to take these different categories and break it down to 5 people.
No.
5.
Yeah. We're not bumping no one because that's what it is. And 7, I'm not expanding the list. This is I'm like college football playoffs. It's 5. That's what it will be. That's what it is. That's what it's gonna be. Because people punk out and they go 10 and they just put, and then they're like, oh well, who I have is 7 and 8 and 9. No. 5. Pick them. Put them in, take them out. There you go. And that, my friends, is the show. Thank you so much for joining us here on Big Game Sports Buzz, where the sports fanatic and the pro athlete get together, talk about sports. It's been a pleasure. I'll always enjoy it. Make sure that you subscribe, you like, love, and of course, smash that bell so you know when we're coming on. Our schedule's a little wild right now, but hey, absolutely love y'all coming on. Let's see. What is this? Let me see what you say, Johnny, here. I've been involved in football 50 years. Yeah. Yes, Johnny. I just want 5. You can shake your head. It's all good.
I shake my head every week. Every week I shake my head. And every week I add 2 more people to my list. So we do a top 5. The Big Game does a top 7.
Or sometimes 10 or 15. But it's all good.
Thanks,
come
Johnny.
on
We
back.
appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure. Come on back. Again, make sure that you subscribe, like, and smash that bell. I'm Jay Sox, the Buff Nerd.
And I'm Big Game James. You have been listening to Big Game and the Buff Nerd, Big Game Sports Buzz on Big Game Entertainment. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Dope. It's a dope groove by SeasonTip.
Yeah. It's a big game. Who you know that got it behind the scenes like